So my name is Carla Guiterrez, and I'm the editor of the film RBG.
And I'm Grace Mendenhall, and I'm the associate editor of RBG.
Our documentary is about Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is an icon, and it really looks at her life, how her personal experience has informed who she's become, and also her role in the women's movement and fighting for women's equality through the courts.
Yeah, I feel very much the connection between that history and where we're going now, and seeing the way that Justice Ginsburg is continuing to influence legislation and influence this country and the way that laws are made.
On a very personal level, when I was editing it, I find myself really being a lot more grateful for the work that women have done in the past, and just to learn like everything that all the work that women did behind the marches, behind the protests, all the the legal strategy, just the hard work that people did. I just found myself appreciating that and learning so much about that. I've come from editing a lot of films and Final Cut, so the transition into Premiere for me was very, very smooth. And I just find that it works great for me, the way that I think about editing, the way that I, for long form documentaries, I'm throwing a lot of material on my timeline. I'm working on my timeline as, kind of like a workspace where a lot of things happen really fast. And just the way that Premiere moves around the material, that it really facilitates that kind of thinking in terms of the editing. So it's just been a great experience for me.
And I completely agree. I think it's a very flexible program and very, easy to use for that reason. So that's a big reason why I like it too. A lot of the VFX work that we did, was just temp at first, really, and we were doing it to get a cut ready and show people sort of an idea or what we were thinking.
Our archival researcher looked for color film of Harvard in the 1950s, but we couldn't find any good stuff. But we wanted to get a sense that time was passing, and so we said, Grace, do you want to try to colorize this? Well, actually, she said, maybe I could do it in After Effects. And she took a stab at one shot, and we looked at it, and I remember the directors and I just looked at each other and we were blown away. It just added, a nice warmth to that moment in her life, and it just looked beautiful.
I think that it's so essential to have a program that can grow with you, because telling your own story and having the means to tell your own story, as opposed to telling it through somebody else, I think it makes such a huge difference, and you can really see in the perspective and the diversity of voices that end up ultimately having a platform, hopefully. I mean, just being able to have this entrance point into a software that you can make a movie with really simply, and then as you learn it is able to grow with you and do the more complicated things you want to do as well.
I mean, the great thing about this software, and one of the reasons why so many professional editors just kind of left Final Cut, is that Premiere is simple to navigate, but it offers so much complexity.